How much is a man's life worth if the person buying it is using his own blood as currency? I stared at the crimson smear on the steering wheel of my cruiser. It wasn't mine. It belonged to the man currently stuffed in my trunk, a man the city of Chicago believed had been dead for 48 hours. His name was Julian Vane, the crown prince of the city's most ruthless cartel. My job was to protect him. My secret was that I was the one who killed him. To the world, Julian Vane had died in a spectacular car bombing on Tuesday. I was the first responder. I had been the one to pull the charred, unrecognizable remains from the wreckage. I had filed a report. I had cried at the funeral of my informant. But the body in the grave belonged to a nameless drifter, and Julian was currently breathing, heavy and ragged, behind my back seat. The plan was simple: get him across the border, collect $5 million, and vanish. I was tired of being a hero on a $50,000 a year salary, while the villains I arrested wore watches that cost more than my house. The handoff was set for a derelict shipyard in Gary, Indiana. As I drove, I checked my rearview mirror for the 10th time. "You're nervous, detective." Julian's muffled voice drifted from the trunk. "For a man who just pulled off the heist of the century, you lack composure." "Shut up, Julian," I snapped. "You're a ghost. Ghosts don't talk." "I'm only a ghost if you get paid," he chuckled, the sound wet and metallic. "But tell me, did you ever wonder why I chose you to help me disappear? Out of all the dirty cops in the city?" I ignored him. I didn't care about the why. I only cared about the how much. The shipyard was a graveyard of rusted steel and broken promises. I pulled into Warehouse 7. A single black sedan waited, its headlights cutting through the fog like the eyes of a predator. I stepped out, my hand hovering near my holster. A woman stepped out of the sedan. She was tall, wearing a trench coat that cost more than my car, and she was holding a heavy briefcase. "Detective Miller," she said, her voice smooth as silk. "You have the package. I have the man. You have the money." She flicked the briefcase open. Stacks of $100 bills sat nestled in foam. My heart hammered against my ribs. This was it, the exit ramp from a life of mediocrity. I walked to the back of my car and popped the trunk. Julian scrambled out, blinking against the light. He looked at the woman and smiled. "Is it done?" Julian asked. The woman didn't look at him. She looked at me. Almost. She reached into her coat and pulled out a suppressed pistol. My heart stopped. I expected her to aim at me. Instead, she turned and fired 2 rounds into Julian's chest. He collapsed without a sound. The ghost was finally real. "What are you doing?" I screamed, drawing my weapon. "That was your boss." "No," she said, finally looking at me with eyes that were terrifyingly empty. "He was my husband, and he was the only thing standing between me and the cartel's entire treasury. You didn't help him disappear, detective. You helped him isolate him." She tossed the briefcase at my feet. "Take the money, Miller. Drive away. Tell the world Julian Vane tried to kill you, and you finished the job. You're a hero. I'm a widow. We both get what we want." I looked at the money. Then I looked at Julian's body. Then I looked at the woman. "There's one problem," I said, my voice steady for the first time all night. "What's that?" "I didn't kill the drifter in the car bombing on Tuesday." I pulled my own burner phone from my pocket and hit play. A recording filled the warehouse. It was the woman's voice, from 10 minutes ago, admitting to the murder of Julian Vane. "I'm not a dirty cop," I whispered. "I'm an internal affairs investigator, and I didn't need Julian's life. I needed yours." The sirens didn't come from the distance. They came from inside the warehouse. The crates around us shifted, and 20 officers emerged from the shadows. I looked down at the blood on my steering wheel one last time. It wasn't a currency anymore. It was evidence.